I've got the red arrows doing a display in the background over there. It's first thing in the morning and I've got my first fish on. Welcome to Norton Disney. Well, normally I don't like March, but actually, yeah, having a bite so quickly is positive. We got here last night, didn't really, well, I just threw 3 solid bags out last night, but this morning I got up nice and early, about 6:30, and I was watching the reed line across the back there, and I noticed a few fish just sort of like showing themselves and giving themselves away. So what I've done is I've got a little bit of hemp, I've got some 10mm cell and a bit of essential cell crumb, and I've been putting it out in a spod instead of a spom. I think this time of year, when they can be a little bit finicky, a spod is a little bit better than a spom, makes less commotion in my opinion, and also it gives a better flittering. I can just shake it about and I can get a nice little powder on the bottom of the bed. Another thing which I have got to my advantage is, despite the weather actually today is quite good and nice and sunny, March can trigger an effect where you get lots of anglers start waking up, they think the winter's over and they start getting on the bank. And the biggest problem with that is they put far too much bait in. So what I'm trying to say is, I've got one spod here, I'm going to throw that out over the top of that rig, which is exactly what I did to get that bite, and I'm only going to throw one spod every time I get a fish. If I don't get a fish within 3 hours, I'm going to put another spod over the top. But it's very, very fine particle, so there's nothing really massive there for them to get feed up on too much. It's just an attraction to my spot and my hook bait. Well, this is the first, hopefully of many. But look at it, it's not a very big fish, but look at the colours of it. It's absolutely covered in leeches. So this has been holding up on the bottom for a little while. And I think this March, spring sun and heat that's just started to come in now, they're starting to wake up a little bit. I did mention about people putting too much bait in this time of year. It can kill a lake off. But if you execute it right, you can have some results. After the first fish, I stuck to the same approach, spodding just every 3 hours hoping for another bite. But the curse of March soon kicked in. I picked this lake at Norton Disney because out of all of them, I felt that gave the best chance to have a few fish out of. But let's face it, March has to be one of the hardest times of the year to catch carp. So, with all the things that can go against you at this time of year, I decided to up my odds a little bit and come onto this lake. But things didn't go to plan. The lake fell silent, no signs of fish anywhere. But that's the gamble with early spring. I just kept my eye on the far reed line, just hoping for some movement like I'd seen the day before. But nothing. It felt like the lake had just shut down. Seems like a bit of an anti-climax today. Everything was going so well. A nice early bite, then I lost another one, but then it's gone really, really quiet. Then finally, the next day I spotted a subtle sign just to my right. My instinct said it was time for a change. I switched to Zigs, cast to my right onto the spot and set it at 6 foot. It felt like the only shot I had. And just before sunrise on the final morning, 48 hours after my first, I was into my second carp.
Snake. It's really tiny. It's a back snake fish. But it's a fish. It's in. 2 days on from the first fish. It's in.
So that's it, it's come to the end of this session, and that third fish just didn't come along. So I think the 2 fish that we had, I think we've done all right, to be fair, and it's been quiet across the whole of the complex. We are going to come back, and we're going to come back and fish some of these other lakes that over the back there when it's a little bit warmer, and try and target some of these bigger fish. So, to be continued. We're back 2 months later. We're back at 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, and this time, as we said before, we've done stocks and we was going to try one of these other lakes, and it's very, very busy up here. So I've ended up on Turner's, and when I got here, swim 3, there was a few fish topping out in front. So I've dropped in here pretty quick, and I've thrown the rods out, and I've been sitting there for a little while. I've just noticed though that the guys in swim 1 and 2 are about to move out, and I like that reed margin over on that right hand side. The wind is pushing down there, and my gut is telling me that I should be in swim 1. So I know I've set up, but I'm going to put the effort in. It's not that much of an effort. I've come quite light, and I'm going to move into swim 1 if I can before someone else gets in there. I'm just literally waiting for them to move the barrow out of the way, and yeah, I'm going to drop in there quick. So I'm in peg 3 at the moment. I'm waiting, and hopefully these go while I'm waiting, but I don't think they will be. But we're going to head over to peg 1.
Now I'm in a free fall with nothing to hold on to. Racing for the end, praying for the wind to slow down the feeling and let me somewhere new. Staring down the ground, it's coming soon. Wishing I could just fall into you. Hey yeah, hey yeah. Wishing I could just fall into you. Hey yeah, hey yeah. Wishing I could just fall into you. Hey yeah, hey yeah. Wishing I could just fall into you. Hey yeah, hey yeah.
Right, okay, so we're in swim 1 now, and this is looking a lot better. We've got a margin all the way along the side there. We've got some little dips into the reeds itself along that margin there, which I can guarantee fish hang about there quite frequently. So what we're going to go do is we're going to go walk around there and have a look along the margin and see if there's any telltale signs of fish either there now or fish have been there recently, and yeah, hopefully get some rigs in place and they return and we have a few on the bank. But I'm feeling a lot more confident in this swim over there. It just seemed a little bit sort of like barren, just stuck in the middle of nowhere, where now I feel like I've got features, and I've got features that carp hang around. It's been a real mixed bag with the weather today. It's been raining heavy, it's been windy as hell, it's been sunny, it's been showery, and now it's gone flat calm out there. It's pretty much like a millpool. So what have we done today? Well, what haven't we done? We've done a lot of walking along the margin, we've done a little bit of pre-baiting, finding spots, and I've moved swims, which was one of the biggest things we've done today, and one that I think is going to pay off. Well, I'm hoping it's going to pay off, but we have definitely seen some big fish boshing over that far margin, and I've got 2 rigs over there now. It's just over 28 wraps. and it's also like an area where there's no other swim. So peg 1 on Turners, you've got a lot of water and it goes right the way over to the far margin, and it's a little haven for them. You know, there is probably 40% of the anglers that could probably fish that particular area 28 wraps and above or beyond. There's probably 60% of anglers that can't quite get to the area where the fish feel safe. So yeah, I've got 2 rigs over there and I think that's going to pay off. We threw some surface baits out there earlier, a few krill floaters, just to see if we could get them feeding on the top when the lake went a little bit slack. And yeah, the seagulls just got straight on those and had an absolute feast. I left the spot out there for a little while. That seemed to do the trick, but as soon as I reeled it in, they was back on it. But I'm feeling confident. I'm glad I moved. It's looking good. Pressures are really, really low. I know there hasn't been many fish coming out and it's been a little bit quiet, but is this the turning point? Is this the turning point where they're going to start feeding? I think we'll find out tonight whether it is or not. Second day now and it's really not gone to plan, and to be honest with you, I had quite a mare yesterday afternoon. There was a couple of swans that were cruising around and they was having a fight, and the next thing I know they've come flying across the water and gone across the tips of both of my rods and wiped both of them out. But when I say wiped them out, I mean properly wiped them out. My rods ended up round there. I've got both swans on the bank with my lines and I'm fishing at 28 wraps, and you can imagine it's an absolute headache. To cut a long story short, I had to get the line was wrapped around, hold both ends, cut it, the line that's attached to the end of my rod, feed that through off of the swan which is in the water, to then let the other end go slack, which then detached from the swan as well, and then that swam off, and then I had to pull in both my lines by hand with my rigs, and in the process pretty much stripped my reels. I did go up and wrap up to see how much I had left on the reels, and I had 22 and a half wraps of line left on the reels. So yeah, not ideal, and that was going just into nightfall last night. This morning I've gone up to the shop, I've got some new line, I'm going to re-spool in a minute, and I really need to hit that back margin. The fish are right over that other side, so they're probably, I don't know, 32 wraps close up against that back margin, and the only way of getting there is changing my line to something with a little bit less of a diameter. The wind has changed direction and it is really hacking right into this corner now, and we have got a lot of dragonfly larvae crawling out on the bank. Now, it's been very slow across all the lakes around here over the last 48, 72 hours, so we understand. I think there's one fish come out last night over the back on a different lake, because I did walk around the early hours this morning and have a chat with quite a few anglers, and yeah, these larvae are crawling out, and I believe that the fish are occupied on these larvae. They will always, out of bait and naturals, they're always going to go for the naturals, and there are thousands of these little dragonfly nymphs coming out of the water at the moment. The plus side, that may be because the wind's pushing down here, so all this natural bait is pushing up this end of the lake. So am I in a position where I could probably capitalise from that and nick maybe 1 or 2 fish that are passing around this area picking up these naturals? I don't know, but I can only try, and that's what I'm going to do. But first things first, I need to re-spool these lines so I can hit that bank over there. And we've got another problem today. The wind's a lot stronger, crosswind, so it's going to be even more difficult hitting that back margin. But we're going to give it a go. So there's a couple of fish now boshing on the spot that I put a bit of bait on yesterday, so they may have moved on moved in onto that. So what I'm actually doing is, I wasn't happy with the spinner rig that I had on the end of this boom section, so I've changed it now to a to my favourite German rig, a bit of sopple braid off the tip of the boom section. Just, I think that turns better in my opinion, and I seem to do very well with this particular rig. I feel something was just not quite right with the amount of metal work that was on the end of that section, and I did have a couple of knocks last night and I just think that I've been done. And for my own mindset, I've decided to put a rig on that I know works, and I know works very, very well. So yeah, it takes a little bit of time setting everything back up, and I'm changing things again, but at least I will feel happy that my rigs are out there, presented, and I know this particular rig does fish. I'm going to play it really, really gingerly. I don't know how big it is, I don't care how big it is. It's been an effort getting to this point. And I'm going to make sure that I don't bump it off. It was up close against the margin. There's the one tight in a little bit of shallow water. We see a fish top there a couple of times. And this time it's gone off. This is the very, very first baited area. So I think they've just actually moved into it now, so it's always a little bit bum at this point. Oh, it's just surfaced. Because I don't know how well it's hooked, if it is just in the mouth, I don't want to give it too much pressure when it pops it out. Slowly, slowly, catchy monkey. There's a bit of a shelf there. It keeps diving deep. I can feel the line grind on the shelf. It's a nice little dark common. We do like a dark fish. Yes! Oh, I'm so happy. I was so happy. I thought this was going to be a bit of a blanking session, but it turned out, oh, that's actually a really nice fish. The moon, the rear. Hopefully, let's get our unhooked. Let's get them to retain and get this rod back out quickly and have a proper look, shall we? I did start to wonder whether this session was going to go to plan, and we had quite a few things against us, but this wind, has it shifted them? Have they moved up this end now, and are they starting to have a bit of a feed? I haven't fed well for the last couple of days, so maybe I am here at the right time, and the next 12 hours is going to basically confirm that or not. But there we go, first fish of this trip, and I'm really happy with this. It's a nice little black common. It's a 20-pounder, and it's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, really, really happy with this. Let's see if we can get a few more that have really, really finished this episode off. But I've got reinforcements coming. 𝗏𝗏𝗶𝗵𝗏 is going to come and do an overnighter with me, just because it was a little bit hard. We thought let's get another angler here and see if we could get a decent episode. But we've got a fish, he's still on his way, and between the two of us, we've doubled our odds of getting a few more. So it's been a few hours now since we slipped that fish back, and Kyle has now arrived, as we mentioned when we've done a little talk holding the fish. And we've got about 12 hours left. So there's 2 of us now. We're going to give it our all, see if we can get another one. But yeah, Kyle has travelled, what was it?
Just over 2 hours for an overnight?
2 hours, 2.5 hours for an overnighter. But we are going somewhere after this anyway. Even with Kyle as my wingman, the final night at Norton Disney brought no more action. So we packed up, hit the road. 3 hours later, we arrived at our next lake just after 10. It instantly felt right. No, I'm not in Dover. Well, actually I am. I'm in Dover Swim, and you've probably guessed by now, I'm no longer at 𝗃𝗶𝗱𝗏𝗏 Norton Disney. I'm now at Nash Royston. So yeah, completely switching it right up. It was fishing very, very slow at Norton Disney, and decided that I was going to make a move. So stopped off just outside Cambridge at Royston, and I'm going to do 36 hours on this lake. 𝗃𝗶𝗏𝗏𝗏 is still with me, so we're going to see what we can do. We're probably going to have a couple of different tactics here. I'm torn. I'm really, really torn. We've seen fish in front of us just along Dover. The 𝗃𝗏𝗶𝗏𝗏 up a little bit further. We've seen fish in front of there on the far margin as well. But there is a swim over the other side that, yeah, the 𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, and there's a nice little feeding area that we've seen fish over there as well. And that's what's tearing me apart, where to fish. Sometimes it's just easier not seeing as much as what we've seen today. And now, yeah, am I going to make the right decision or am I not? That is the question. My gut instinct is telling me to go over that other side. Close quarters with my 10-foot scopes, my little sawn off underneath the bushes. But I still haven't decided. I'm going to have another little bit of a walk around before I rush into anything. But there's fish definitely up this end of the lake. The wind's pushing up there as well, and it's really, really nice and warm in this little corner. So we know they're here. We just got to catch them now. This time we came up with a plan. Swims were picked and a strategy set. It felt like a proper military operation. The lake looked bang on, and after a slow start to the trip, things were finally starting to fall into place. I'm no longer on Kingfisher, I'm now on Wood Lake, and didn't realise after Kyle set himself up and I positioned the single rod in a nice little area with the bushwhacker to only realise that it was shut for spawning.
Oh. Is it actually closed?
Yeah.
Oh no, we didn't know that. No, we didn't. What's it closed for spawning?
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't know that.
Signs on the gate.
Oh, we didn't see the signs on the gate, no.
But I didn't see any signs. Apparently there's a little tiny one on the gate, but obviously missed that. Anyway, cut a long story short, we're on Wood Lake now, and I've jumped into a swim that a guy literally moved out of, so yeah, I wouldn't be in the swim had we come here first. Would have probably been in one of the other ones, and this one looks really, really nice. Little bay, well, it's called Big Bay actually, and I've got rigs all the way along that margin there, and I've got one out in the centre as well. Now I come back here, I think it's February this year, and it was really, really cold. Tried fishing with Zigs, basically we tried everything. There's a really nice sunset in the background, everything was nice, apart from the fact that we didn't catch, and yeah, blanked for that one. Anyway, back again. Haven't got as long as what I thought I was going to have on here because of the calamity that we had at the start, but we've still got about 24 hours left to go. So I've got my rods out, I'm just flinging out a few surface baits into this corner here. It's really, really slack and calm at the moment, and if I can get them going on the top, that'd be great.
So I've just wrapped up to my max distance, which is 40 yards, 10 wraps. And I did notice when the sun was up, you probably see that dropped really quickly. There is a bar out there at 10 wraps. My guesstimation, it's about 3 to 4 foot deep. Come off to the right hand side, it's probably about 8 to 9 foot. So it's definitely an area. I think I'm going to put a couple of rods. So I'm just going to have a little bit more of a lead about, make sure I'm happy, and then get the rigs out there. So I'm just going to go 2 rod lengths to the right hand side now. Still 10 wraps. Donk. You see it's a lot. I'm going to say that's probably up about 10 to 11 foot. But yeah, the gravel's still there. It's still nice. Still nice bits of gravel there, and then it goes into, I'm assuming, some sort of soft silt stroke clay. So yeah, interesting. So the rain has finally just eased up. It's probably been raining for the last 2.5, maybe 3 hours, but the fish activity has been unreal. In and around the area, they have been crashing one after another. Honestly, it feels so good. Just put a few mixers out, because if there's also an opportunity to have them off the top, we might as well make the most of it.
Nothing happened last night, and we're partway through this day as well. We have noticed a few fish on the top in that deeper water in about 20 foot. So I've made up a couple of zigs, one at 15 and one at 14.5, I think it is. They're about the same. In actual fact, I tried making one a little bit longer and miscalculated that, and when I compared them against each other, they're about the same size in length. So yeah, they're out there now, and yes, like I say, it's been really, really quiet. Nothing's really happened, particularly on their margin rods over the...
So something's changed. We have been waiting all day for this. Mark's into a fish. Let's get down there and have a look.
Can you bring that other rod in for us? I don't know if the hooks come off, the weight's come off of this. I've got to pack really gingerly. Leads off, yes! Oh yeah, I've got the heli safe on. Thank for that. We in, boy. Get in there. Oh mate. Ah. Worth moving into the, what's this one called? The Badger's Den or something, isn't it? That's a 30. There we go. Look at that beaut. Not quite a full zip linear, but it's got a bit of zippy about it. And at £28, well happy with that. And just when you think it wasn't going to happen, just like that, like a flick of a light switch, everything changes. Everything changes. Still got a bit of time left. Might put a few, well, I think probably I might put my third rod on the Zig as well. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. But let's have a good look at this, appreciate what we've got in front of us before we put her back. Let's have a look at the other side as well, because the other side's great. There we go. It's got some thickness to it as well, look at that. Here she goes. Yes.
The classic. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, something's changed here. Mark's literally, 𝗖𝗔𝗥𝗣𝗆 just gone. We made some changes to this one. Mark's was at 15 foot. We thought we'd go a little bit more, 16 foot. I'm not even joking when I say this has been out 5 minutes and it's gone again. So clearly that depth and the conditions now is working. So let's focus on this and get this in. That's on the bar. Yeah, bring that right one in, that's on the bar anyway. The other zig's going out there, so. sorry, mate. You're damn right down that margin, mate. Oh, that was awkward. That was awkward. Oh. Well, there you go. I'm going to call that teamwork. Mark had his on a 15-foot zig. He told me, made some changes, and this is what happens. Don't sit behind motionless rods. Got to make it happen. We ain't got loads of time here. Our time is limited, but there you go. I can't be disappointed with that.
Well, it's been a struggle, that's for sure, and we've pretty much done 3 or 4 sessions now to create one film, and it all started off 6-7 months ago in the middle of winter at Norton Disney, and we fished Stocks Lake. We had a couple of fish out there, but we didn't quite get enough content that we was happy with, so we always intended to go back there to finish that off. And likewise with Nash Royston, we went to Royston in February. It was Baltic, it was -4 or 5 degrees, and there was nothing coming out, and we blanked. And our intentions again with that one to always go back to finish that one off because of the content that we actually got in between. So we went back to Norton Disney, and I got onto Turner's Lake, and we spoke to a few people, and there wasn't a lot coming out. It really wasn't going how we wanted it to go. The odd fish come out, but it was fishing very, very slow across the whole complex, and we was in the deepest area of the actual lake, and we managed to nick one. So I was happy just to get that one fish, but again, it wasn't quite enough. So on the way back, decided to jump back onto Royston, and we turned up, and we wanted to fish, I think it's called Kingfisher, the first long one as you come into the gate. And we walked around for a couple of hours, and all of a sudden the guy come round and went, "Oh, you do realise this is shut for spawning, don't you?" It's like, "No, not at all." Didn't know that at all. So we've ended up back on Wood Lake, which is the lake that we come to in February, which we intended to come back to finish the video off. So again, it wasn't going how we wanted it. We've put baited area out, we sat on baited rigs, and it really wasn't happening. We see a lot of fish in 20 foot of water, head and shouldering out at certain times of the day. And today we capitalised from that, because when they started showing again about the same time, we decided to put some zigs out over those areas. Now, eventually I stumbled across a layer about 15 foot that done me a bite. Kyle changed his to 15 foot as well, and he had a bite very, very quickly after. In actual fact, it wasn't more than very, very quickly. I think the fish followed the bait down and took it. So we had 2 bites, 2 fish landed in a very, very quick period of time, and Zigs have saved it again. I've enjoyed myself. The last hour has been hectic, but we've done a lot of sitting about. But at the end of the day, we've got what we needed, and we've bagged some fish. So that's another end of Spotlight. I hope you will like watching this one, and we'll see you again soon.